peoples? So today I'm doing a brow tutorial because I've been requested to do my brow tutorial for so long. And truly, I've kind of just been waiting till I get my brows done because it's been a while because I always wait till I get my hair cut. And until I get my next haircut, I don't like to touch my brows. And I am filming with my mic today. I'm sorry if you hear any traffic or birds because it's so nice outside. There's no way I can film, there's no way I can be trapped in this room without my window open. So I already started my brows, but the first thing I always do before I start my brows first is brush my hair and put on this. It helps wave out my hair. It's just like the natural texture of my ethnicity's hair. And then I go in with my Skin Repair Serum by Alouette. And I just like to put this on because it preps my skin for makeup for later. Also, it's just good for skincare. After that, I usually moisturize my lips. You know my go-to, and it's almost out, but you know my go-to is the Lip Vibrance by Blistex. And next is onto the brows. I try to not put the Skin Repair Serum into my brows because it makes it harder for the product to stick. But I go in with this spoolie. I got it at CVS, and okay, camera cut out. I can't tell you how many times that might happen. But I got this spoolie at CVS a long time ago. It's the best spoolie I've really ever had or tried. But I just use it. I brush out my brows. I already started my brows. But I brush out my brows, and then I go in with the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I used to use the shade Black, but I went down to the shade Espresso. So I just wind it up. This is a new one. So I've noticed there's small lines, they're not really noticeable, but on my nose. And I just lead straight up to this part of my brow where I want it to start. My actual brow starts about right here. But I like my brow to come closer. So I go here and I just trace the bottom of my brow slowly in small strokes. And then until I get to the end, which I predict by doing this, and there it is. But I like to extend a little bit farther than usual, farther where it should stop. But after that, I just do the bottom of the next one, and I brush them out some more. After that, I start about a quarter of the way from the front, and I also trace over the top. Make sure when you brush your hairs out first, they go all in the same direction of your natural brow growth. And I just trace down the top until I get to the point I connect it. And I do the same on this one. So you see how I left that quarter free? So I take my pencil and I just draw small marks going up, trying to this is going to help your brow look more feathery and more realistic slightly when you get to this part. So I'm going to go do the next. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry, my camera went out again, but also I was going to just do the next step off camera because my brow tutorial, the way I do my brows, I have to be so close to the mirror and it takes so long I just can't do it on camera. But next, so I took my NYX Brow Tame and Frame, and for now I'm selling shade Black for this, which I think I might go a shade lighter, but I also might not, I'm not sure yet. So I like it to be a little bit more dried out. As you can see, I've used it a lot, but I like it to be more dried out because it makes it harder for you to go crazy on your brows and have a thick block, and it's less creamy. So it just makes it easier and it sticks onto the hair better, I feel. So I take an angle brush. This one's by Maybelline. I might be getting a new one soon. But I take an angle brush, and what I do is I dip it in the product just lightly. And so I start at the tail of my brow, and I just fill in the tail. I start more near the bottom line and just fill in towards the top. And then I start curving around this line, which is the hardest one for me. And then I go on the top and I fill in the middle. And once I get to about here, I turn my brush this way and I should go upwards. Instead of towards the brow direction that the hairs grow. And I start going upwards, so it starts to create the fade. And as I get more in, there's less product on my brush, which helps blend out these front lines we created. As you can see, it just gives it a nice fade on the front. And now I'm going to do the next step off camera, and I will be back to explain that. Also, if you try the Benefit or the Anastasia brow pomade, tell me how it is in the comment box below, because I really want to try it, but I'm not sure I want to spend that much money on it yet. And this one's still working fine for me, so I'm just unsure. So let me know about that in the description box if you can, please. So I'm back to explain the next step, and I go in with this flat brush. Usually, I used to use an angle brush, but I'd rather use a flat brush now, and I really need to get a new one truly, but that'll happen someday. But I go in with this flat brush, and I take the NYX Cream Concealer in the pot, and this one's in shade medium. As you can tell, it's very light compared to my skin tone. I want to go a few shades darker because I've been more into a more natural look lately. As in, like, usually I also take my brow more down to here. But lately I've just been going for a more natural look. I think it's because it's been more bright outside. And I don't know, like more golden tones even on my eyes lately. More neutral shades. But the next thing I do is I take a little bit of this concealer, I coat one side, and I go, and this is where you can even out your brows if your brows are uneven, which mine are, or your arches are. And I'll start about right here, and I'll just slowly drag along and like clean up the shape that I created with the pencil. And then I go in the front with barely anything on my brush, like my camera's driving me crazy, turn it off. But usually my brush is like bare by then, and I just take whatever's left, I dip it in just barely, and I do the very front, because like you don't want a lot of product under your eye, under your eyebrow. I really don't like a lot, unless I'm trying to cover brow hairs when my brows aren't done. But then after I do the front, I bring it down, I just bring it down, and then I do the next one, which this one's unblended. I haven't blended out the concealer yet, as you can see. And now I just take my middle finger because I feel like it's the best finger, and the warmth of the finger blends out the product really nicely. And I start in the front, and I just tap. I tap along. I tap down here where I blended the product down, and I just tap. Because you don't want to move, you don't want to swipe and move any product that you placed. But I just tap and go along until it's blended out. And this is usually where I go in with my face primer when this part is done. So I'm going to go do my face primer, and I'm also going to finish off my brows, and I'm going to come back to tell you what happened. I'm back again to explain the next step, which is the last two steps I really do for my brow tutorial. But usually where I end it, the last part of the video, is usually where I go off and put in contacts if I'm wearing contacts that day. And then usually I go in with my face primer, which lately I've been using the One Heck of a Black from Soap and Glory. I really like it. Just a little bit on the forehead, nose, cheeks, and chin, and blend it out. But then I go in with whatever foundation I'm using at the time. But since I haven't been wearing foundation for a while, for like 3 months now. Yeah, 3 months now. I just use the last foundation I've used because I wasn't able to wear it anymore because I was no longer the same shade of it. And I like it, but it also highlights the top of my brows just slightly. It gives me a natural glow because I don't like to put, not natural glow, but like natural highlight. You know how light lands on the face. Because I don't use concealer on my forehead because I'm really oily and I have wrinkles, so it'll crease. So I try to minimize that by doing this. But I take this pointed concealer brush. I don't feel like it's a concealer brush, it's too small, but it's from Wet n Wild. And a small dot of the foundation, which you don't need a lot. Like, I really use the smallest dot I can get, and I always end up with excess product. But next I start from about right here, and I slowly just carve out till I get to the end and meet the cream we put there, and till I meet the cream. Ooh, my light, I'm sorry. After that, I take a little bit more, and I go right in the front, right here, and I dab it there. I don't swipe, because I don't want a harsh line. I want it to look more of a natural look, which filled in brows, how can they look natural sometimes? But like, yeah, I dab it there, and then I take the same lines I go up my nose usually, from where I first start my brow, and I go straight up. I don't touch my nose, and I just carve out the front of the brow, and I go a little bit underneath and blend it right here. I go up the middle, and I blend it out the top, and then I take my beauty blender, and I tap that out, and then that just blends out what I put there, and then I do the next brow. Then, after that, if I set my brows, I do it at the very end of my makeup. I don't set my brows too often. But I like to use this Cetaphil with a spoolie. It's really good for setting brows, I feel. But I don't set my brow hairs too often. But I have this, I used to use clear brow mascara, and I have this tube. So I cleaned out the tube and everything, the spoolie. And then I just filled it with the Cetaphil, and it just works perfectly. It's nice to set the brows. I don't set my brows too often though. And then the last steps of my brows. Usually the excess foundation I use for my lids if I'm doing the cut crease, so clean up my wing liner. But next I go in and I prep my eyes with my eyeshadow base for my eyeshadow, which today I use the Essence eyeshadow base, a Heart Stage eyeshadow base. And I usually go in with a skin tone after that on a blending brush like this one, which is just like a nice light brown, and I set my lid to the brow bone, lid all the way up to the brow bone in circular motions with this blending brush. And then sometimes I take yellow, it depends on my feel. It's like, or either I'll take a shade similar to this one. It's not white, it's more like a cream, it's just very, very light. And I'll take either a shade like that, like an ivory or a yellow, and I blend it down, I blend it down in the crease, and then I take it up to the brow bone and do circular motions underneath the brow. And that's how I do my brows. It is like very strenuous, oh god, words, these words, my syllables, strenuous. And it does take me about 25 minutes, even when my brows are done, which it is easier when my brows are done compared to when they're not, but it still takes about the same amount of time a lot of times. And I do use a lot of products. I'm not saying this is the right way to do brows, but this is just what works for me. It took a long time to figure out how I like to do my brows, and this is what gives me the results I like. So there you go. For other people who ask for a brow tutorial, here's my complicated, difficult way of doing my brows. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye. So, there was something I forgot about my brows. So, today they did come out too harsh in the front. Some when you draw the straight line, clean it up with foundation, sometimes it creates a harsh, blunt end. And so to fix that, depending on my makeup look, depending on how harsh I want my brows, which I decide at the end of my makeup, like to see if my brows and my eyes matching up. If I go for something more natural, I want a softer looking brow. If I go for something more bold, I want a bolder brow. So I take my spoolie and I just brush out the front a little bit, like that first corner, you know, where we striped up the front to create the fade. That's where I brush out something. I try to make them even, because sometimes they will end up uneven because I don't have as much hair in this brow. But I completely forgot about that. But yeah, sometimes I do that. And I did have an outfit change because I'm filming a tutorial for you. And that's all you need to know. Bye.